Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to be tackling another decluttering project that I have been needing to get to, and that is my medicine cabinet. So we will be heading back to the laundry room to do that in just a second. But before we did that, I had to show you guys the view outside of my office right now. Isn't that just amazing? I am so excited about spring, and I know these blooms are only going to last for another week or so, so I had to share it while they were in all of their glory. So that had nothing to do with the video, but I just thought it was so gorgeous that I had to share. And now we can head back to my laundry room back behind me, and we will get started decluttering our medicine cabinet. This is something I've been needing to get to for a while, and I decided to put it on my things that I'm going to do before the baby comes, just to go ahead and knock it out and get it out of the way. So let's go ahead and head there and we will get started. Okay, so I am now in my laundry room, and this is where my medicine cabinet is. Now, this is not the first time that I have decluttered my medicine cabinet. I have tried doing it before by just lining up things and then hoping, I guess, that they get put back in the proper place. But the problem is, with multiple people in your family, things rarely get put back in the proper place where I put them. So what I am doing this time is I got these containers, and they are a little bit deeper and they're fairly wide containers. So I'm hoping to kind of create with these 4 different categories for the items in the medicine cabinet, and people will be able to just grab out the container that they are looking for and then put the item back into the proper container. And I'm hoping that this will enable the cabinet to stay clean and tidy longer than it has in the past. So right now it is in a pretty sad state. It has been a little while since I have done anything with it, and I can't even fit everything in it. As you can see, there are items on the counter, and that's not because I started pulling anything out already. That's just because not everything is fitting at this point with how it has been shoved in there. So I am hoping by the end of this video to have everything nice and neatly organized so that we can easily find what we're looking for. Especially with the baby coming, it's good to have all of the baby stuff in one spot so we can easily access that whenever we need to. So the first thing that I'm going to do, just like in any decluttering video that I have done, is I'm going to pull everything out, and then I'm going to start figuring out where each item should go. So the next thing I like to do once everything is emptied out is I always like to just clean the cabinet area, because how often do we really get a chance to do that? So I'm just going to go through, clean them off, and get them ready for things to be put back into the cabinets. So now I'm going to open up these containers and start sorting through everything, putting them into the proper container and throwing out things that I either am not quite sure what they are, or they are expired, or we just haven't used in the last few years. Obviously, this doesn't apply to the baby stuff, but there are sometimes things that you buy that you think you're going to use and you never end up doing that. So for me, if it hasn't been used in the past couple years, and I know I'm not going to likely use it in the future, it is going to go into the trash. So I'm just gonna start doing that right now. So I think these containers worked really well for what I needed them for. They are a little bit bigger than what I needed. I think there was one size that was slightly thinner and I could have probably gone with that, but it's hard to know when you're looking at things online. And I am happy with these. I'm happy with the way they look and they fit in here, but for the amount of medicine that we have in use, I probably could have gone with the slightly thinner one. I really like how deep they are though, because we will be able to grab these out and things won't be spilling out of them. And say when the kids are sick or something like that, we can just bring out the entire container and have all of their little medicines in one spot and then put it back when we are done with it. But as you can see, this one has still quite a bit of space left in here where I could put more things, which maybe as they get older we will need more things, but right now they're slightly bigger than what we would have needed, at least for this one. I guess for all of the other ones though, they're pretty much the perfect size. So it just kind of depends on what categories you have and what you will be putting in each one. I could probably have also stood to have one or two more, but they only came in a pack of 4 in this size, so I didn't think I needed 4 more, which I was correct about. The only area where I could have used one more is for our sunscreen and things like that, but since those are larger items and now I kind of have this little nook over here to the side, I don't think that it will get too cluttered up as long as everything else stays in the proper boxes or containers. So right now I have one container that's just for baby stuff, and that will be nice and handy again when the baby comes. If I need something, I can just pull out that container and use anything in the container without having to sort through everything and figure out where things have landed. Then next I have a container for the girls who are a little older and will be using medicines that obviously we can't use for the baby and vice versa. And just kind of have things in here for when they are sick. So I have a thermometer that's for older kids. I have a baby thermometer in here. Some just basic Tylenol, things like that for when they have a cold and need some medicine. And then next I have what is essentially our in-the-house first aid kit. It has Band-Aids, antibiotic ointment, all of the basic essentials that you need for basic injuries around the house. And then next to that I have all of the sunscreens and aloe vera that we would use in the summertime. And then up above here I have basically all the adult medication, supplements, allergy meds, anything that Ross and I would use in this container right here. And over here I just have some hot water bottles and my brace for my carpal tunnel and one of these heating rice pads that you can heat up in the microwave that we like to use as well. So that is pretty much how the medicine cabinet is going to look. Now I do still have these bags down here, and the reason that I have them is we wanted to put together some first aid kits for the vehicles. And I have already done that for one of the vehicles. We had a container that worked really well for that, and I kind of made my own first aid kit because we were finding that a lot of the pre-made first aid kits that you can buy have a lot of unnecessary items. I'm sure there's a reason for them. We just don't typically use them. So we would go through all the Band-Aids in a real quick hurry, and then we would be left with a lot of bulky things that we didn't really want to throw away, but yet we also needed more Band-Aids. So I actually made one for the car that we use most frequently already, and I need to just make another one. And while I was going through the medicine cabinet, I found a first aid kit that we had bought. So now I think what I'm going to do is just restock this with the items that we would use a lot as a family, and then I will keep the rest of the surplus in this container right here, our in-the-house first aid kit, and as we empty this out we can add in more Band-Aids and things like that. This other bag here is just some postpartum supplies that I need to put with the rest of my postpartum supplies. I got some disinfecting wipes, some witch hazel, some extra strength Advil because that's always helpful after, and some cramp bark, which is absolutely amazing for those after cramps, and you can also use it for menstrual cramps too if you have that other times when you aren't pregnant. So I need to get a little bit more, but I am really glad that I went through this cabinet because I couldn't remember if I had any left or not from the last time I gave birth. But I'm not going to unload this into the medicine cabinet because pretty much all of it will be used when the baby comes. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and put together this first aid kit and put the rest of the Band-Aids where they belong. So there is the finished product, and I'm not sure if you can tell how much better it is from there. I'll try to get a close-up so you can really see. But it is much more organized, and now we will be able to find things much more easily. If this has inspired you to start decluttering your house, feel free to grab my easy decluttering checklist, and I will link that down in the description below. I'm Kassy with makingtimeforgiggles.com, and I make videos all about simplifying mom life, from meal planning to budgeting and decluttering, and of course setting up simple routines. So if you are not subscribed and that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe down below because I would love to see you on the next video.